This is final entrees of poetry from the buffet of sickness. Number 3, The Darkness, for Clive Barker. Empty and black as space is the night outside, as I, the dark prince of desire, reign, as I, the dark prince, think inside me, cold inside, chill death inside, cold, the darkness, secrets hide. I have many, the darkness hides. I see many, the darkness hides. I have many, the darkness hides. I see many, the darkness hides. Vision is not for darkness. Vision is for light. Vision is not for darkness. Vision is for light. The darkness delights us as nothing does, with such violent, senseless frights. But the witnesses to fear have nothing clearly held in sight, and we find the darkness sexy for us to hide out with our sicknesses, our secrets. They're safe there. We promised. Don't tell. I relate not in darkness, and I'm not feeling well. My anger has kept me enslaved to the darkness, in which I'm now seeking my healthy escape from. My lifelong love, long, denied in the darkness we sleep in, remembering nothing. Time after time, time after time, time after time after time after time, remembering nothing. Time after time, time after time after time after time, we have learned nothing. Time after time, time after time after time after time, we remain bitter. Time after time, time after time after time after time, resigned to nothing. Time after time, time after time after time after time, we shall love nothing. Time after time, time after time after time after time, our thoughts now on nothing. Time after time, my memory now silent. It knows. Ears are listening from the darkness when the dark prince strips naked, revealing his mind to a light. The darkness knows fearfully. The darkness knows it well. It hates it and shuts it out with insanity, keeping reason clearly at bay. With a sick, twisted children of darkness come hungry to play with me, not knowing how to refuse them or say that I love them, who call themselves my lovers, my heartaches, and comic reminders of stars within, which have spat out their light, burning in darkness, which hovers and blankets the sky. The darkness is falling, the darkness is failing within now as well. This darkness is grief till the end of all time. This darkness, lamenting our weaknesses, sicknesses, secrets, denying our light. We give to the darkness the light of our loss and grief, loving them. Time after time, time after time. We feed it insatiably with such sick powers, power to blind, power to bind us to reason. Time after time, we're searching in sickness, we search for in sickness the secrets to life, to steal, and report it all dutifully back to our dark gods of fear, who end inevitably near and dear to our hearts, our hope. To surrender what we believe, our very being, up to nothing, in sickening reverence of life sacrificed, everything we are blind to invest with guilt in. We think it our nature to die for nothing, in spite of our endless power to love. We think it our God-given right, with murderous intent, to express death as justice for others, and ourselves in total acceptance of the unholy temple of flesh as what we love more than life, love, or light, giving ourselves up in solemn celebration to appreciation within the termination of the grave. Fear's only real gift, fear's only real priority and function to us. We believe we are invisible in darkness because we are blind, indestructible lights of love within us, believing if we acknowledge it rather than deny it, God will strike us blind with the hatred made in our delusions of superiority, intelligence, and distinctions made in the black waves of ignorance we jealously guard against all illumination and hope, totally unsupervised by universal intelligence in seeming ceaseless chaos. We're prisoners of the dark world of time, jailed by forms we hate, but fake love to and for, proud and vain and obsessively self-congratulating on nothingness. We believe we came from nothing, and within the nakedly narrow band of time between life and death, all we have is what we can possess with the 5 thieves of our senses, as eventually we will return to rest in peace there, totally unconscious and aware of in darkness only the sick dream of nothing which we'll never be at home with. We pretend we are happy with the perishable, when all it does is drive us insane with desires we can never satisfy. We believe it is brave to go down into the earth so long as we have lived a sanitized life, where our twisted judgment disguised as religion or science or politics or money has been allowed its destructive urge for murder in the name of justice so intent to destroy. It cares not who suffers, so long as someone is victimized and sacrificed needlessly to its altars of flesh, bone, and blood. A ghoulish theater of pain we're taught to deify. Anyone's pain is acceptable to the dark gods of fear, so long as they are believed in with any possibility seductive enough to consume, use, and destroy afterward. Ungrateful and hungry for more hatred with which to make our living, when the former things have passed to dust, we believe darkness is the way of life, with no hope of any lasting joy. We believe we must all die in darkness and refuse to believe otherwise, stubbornly insisting on doing things the hard way, even though sacrifice hurts us. We believe we do so in the name of love, but at heart, actually, fear in disguise makes all of our decisions, for in them, and what we decide for, exists all our power. We hope for scraps, begging fear to shine with scarcity its cheap spotlight of immortality on us, known more commonly as fame and fortune, which we all desire at the expense of sharing none of it with anyone or anything of substance. But in this world our equals are fearfully perceived as our competitors. So we hate rather than our saviors, and so we hate and envy the very ones who could heal us with their authentic appreciation of us, which we would deny. We squander our love on sick, insecure vampires who would play out twisted and demented, warped versions of relationships called marital monogamy of every variety no one would grieve to lose if they could see them for what they are. Opportunities for the darkness at its finest deceit to offer us immortality in hell. We smile, teaching us forever to walk and go the way of bones to the dust. We smile and we're pleased with skeletons as saviors we believe in. We believe we all must die. We, the sick minds of bodies who believe in darkness, are calling across the worlds to a gate between time and eternity, to our host's most holy mirror selves, where we of the awakening Holy Spirit call one and all home to deathless peace and eternal quiet, bathing all in the unspeakable joy of living spirit immortal. We call to you to light up your eyes with such beauty you will never again doubt your reality in the dark glass of fear, glittering all about you repellent in a sick dream of your own devising, in which you fantasize ceaselessly of self-destruction in endless form. We call to you from eternal radiance. We call to you who are in darkness to raise up your eyes from the dust towards the heavens, a light. The darkness is nothing but really not seeing. We would see salvation and not sacrifice. We would deny darkness and live in the light. We ask you to join us. We ask you to lay aside all the fences which are truly useless and destructive to your health, which is equal to your state of mind, troubled or at peace. We ask you to love. We ask you to join us. We ask you be patient. The darkness is falling. The darkness is failing, and soon shall you have sight. We ask you, reflecting on all you believe now, to give up your anger. Exchange it now for love. The darkness, your love is the light now. The darkness has fled from. The darkness is nothing. Your love is your life force.
Queen Beast. I have always wondered what it would be like to be a gay white male. I much imagine me and my upwardly mobile testosterone teammates going out to Fire Island for the weekend and lying nude along some sandy meat rack to let the sun fry some brown onto our fish belly white asses. Not that we have a problem being Caucasian or anything like that. I mean, we have black friends too. I mean, we don't have any of that white guilt stuff or anything like that. I mean, being gay, we're all oppressed together, so we all have to stick together. So we all have to look the same. So we all have to be correct about how those fucking heteros see us. I mean, we do have an image to keep up. I mean, we do have a status to maintain. We must fight for just the right pictures of ourselves, because we have to prove to them that we're normal too. That we're normal too. It's not normal not to. It's not normal not to. It's not normal to not care about having the fine things in life. I mean, everybody wants the fine things in life. I mean, everybody wants love. Everybody wants sex. Everybody wants money. Love, everybody, sex, want, everybody, money, and I just want what's mine. I just want what's mine that I want. I just want what's mine that I want, which is mine that I want. That's mine that I want, what I want, when I want it so bad, I'll even stab you in the back. Bitch, you cheap, tacky hoe, bitch. I know you want what's mine. Fuck you, he's mine. Fuck you, it's my money, and I will stand by what's mine in the crumbling, what's mine in the destruction, what's mine in the exploding kingdoms of rust, in these kingdoms of dust. I'm sucking the last precious whiffs of breath from your gasping lips. I'm licking it up, licking up the scraps. I am rabid and viciously fighting for the last of you that's mine. Sucking the last bitter whiffs of breath from your trembling lips. I've always wondered what it would be like to be a gay black male. I much imagine me and my girlfriends down by the pier, brother to brother, or sister to sister, rolling out the wrap of oppression from our thick monkey lips, while we twirl our big black dongs around our legs and thighs and feet, to the simian beat of Patti LaBelle, to the jungle drums of Aretha Franklin, to the disco divas we worship so well, swishing and dishing, and a ditty-bitty bop to the flippity-flop-flop. You don't stop, hey, you don't stop hating, and a ditty-ditty bop to the hippity-hop-hop. You won't stop, ho, you won't stop hating, and we'll read them 3 shades of the color purple, girl. girl, or read them lovely, or read these sad white children outnumbering us on every occasion, at every grand function of every persuasion. They seem to be sadly lacking thus, while sadly thus outclassing us, and you just know we can't live that shit down. I mean, we should overcome, baby, fight the power, and power to the people, baby. The black man is an icon for power, oppressed by the white man's money and the white man's inferior penis, which seems to be why he gives the African-American community lip service. They like the taste of our big black power, and our sacrificial black behinds make quite the tasty sacred beef. They worship it, choking and gagging. They like the taste of our salty white guilt, as we shoot us some nasty nigger coon come up their creamy, tight, white, and puckering prostate pussy holes. Say lap atop, eagerly throating our power as we give them our evil black seed, giving away our power in a final frustrating blast of gonad glory as we become enslaved yet again, accessory and accoutrement to the women fancy of the white man's inferior penis. We must fight the power by mirroring it. The black man is an icon for power. Only the black man could convince the white man. If only the black man could convince himself. I have always wondered what it would be like to be a lovely queen beast, flaming my faggoty flower and fauna, exhaling my bathhouse breath like a sauna, living from my anus, always eager to be filled, living from my throat, coated with HIV positive semen, dreaming the dark dream, living for the kill, crawling to the feast of flesh that's throbbing north of Houston, south of 14th Street, west of 7th Avenue, and I would be so fierce it would be over. I have always wondered what it could be like to be a vicious queen beast. I much imagine me coming out into an eternal weekend of Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays with my freshly dripping, put-on face, putting on an act for the children who'd be pumping house music from their blaring buttholes, and then I really would be doing shows, as the music would get my titties bumping, with the bass would get my booty jumping, clogging my ears in clotted chunks, as I stumble in my pumps. It would make Miss Kitty's kitty bump. It makes my pussy bump. And then my thoughts would be crowded out to logic, and I'd be on a mission, girl. And in this divine disco inferno, my skin would start to smoke, 'cause my pussy would be so hot, and it would begin to blister and bulge and crack and peel away to reveal my beastly leathery new scales, hot and slimy in the fresh snot of birth. And I would open up my mouth to read that tacky tramp over there who tried to take my man, and my teeth would rain bloody chunks from my whore-red lips and thick scarlet spittle, and I would wince, agonizing as my gums, itching and burning with feverish madness, would sprout from boot to tip and sprout fresh white fangs which would gleam pointedly in the surrounding light I would try to block from my twisting, pulsing, shifting face. And then I would see me a man, a hot man, walking about all fleshy and sweaty and manly. And I, being the queen, the fashion beast of the decade, would draw him to me. And because he is vaingloriously blind, he can't possibly see my true beastly self. Because he is a beast too, and mistakes my stink-stench rags for fashion, and mistakes my brutal body odor for aftershave musk. And like a car, I can start him up. And like a light, I can turn him on. And like a cake, I can have him and eat him too. And he tastes delicious, I might add. His gonads are crunchy and taste exquisite with Grey Poupon. And his hardened penis makes a juicy tidbit I shall save for later. I shall exalt the flavor. I shall savor it, inhaling its aroma with my hairy, flaring, runny nostrils. And I shall bite him in the rump, tear fatty chunks of ass meat free with my slicing, ripping, slashing teeth. and I'll nibble on the delectable morsels of his fingers, feet, nose, hair, and skin, and gobble them all up swiftly without belching. I'm far too queenly for such distaste. His entrails are, by far, the yummiest yet, and are filled with occasional pockets of shit, which must be eaten quickly, lest they attract flies. A queen should never have to share her platter. His torso, rippled with bulging muscles and beaded with droplets of salt-sweet sweat, I fear, has been spoiled in its perfection with my gougings and bloody bite marks as I gnaw him down to the crunchy white bone, snacking on his delicious internal organs while wiping and licking the bloody juice from my lips and fingers. It is a fiendish act of unspeakable greed, I know, and can neither pause for pity, nor care, nor help myself. But I am at least honest at my candor in my confession that I am pure consumer, and his broken heart and broken dreams do not concern me, for there is, out in the place of faggots who fight for their rights, to fuck each other up the ass and suck each other's penises, while AIDS picks them off one by horrified one, a sinister invention by which I entirely profit, called fashion, where beauty, a chemically prepackaged retail value on sale now, is just another additive and preservative ingredient to spice the flesh, to salt the meat, which is by design rancid to the bone, but nevertheless I hunger for. And this dark art born under the bad moon blasting of Satan's eyes, shining with evil, can only push the fatted calves of queer nation deeper into my cupboards and meat lockers, into a cold, clean heaven, while they, weeping in horror of their bodies, which are blackened in guilt and self-disgust, are willingly deceived under my slaughtering blade of ever-mutating desire, masked attractively in sleek, sexually stimulating advertising campaigns. Subliminal proclamation of arrogant emancipation, subliminal declaration of pompous independence, subliminally radiated isolation, depression, and misery, consume or be consumed via slavery by consumptions, ostensibly advertising the fine things in life that everybody wants, that's normal, when it is not normal, to not be fooled by the sickness of such sin. The world made flesh, where savage, beatific beasts run rampaging wild against the enemy of time. Those who cheat death, those who wait death, those who race death, where monstrous animals, such as myself, are, too, damned by insatiable hunger, and diseased by the plagues of our own self-indulgence. We plead insane allegiance to the crown prince of hell, blindly signing away our sanity on self-destructing contracts to the booking agents of the devil himself, sitting in his director's chair in the abyss called Hollywood, an insane kingdom of cheap tricks and tacky glamour, where we all, eager for recognition and attention, play our parts frantically when Lucifer yells, "Action!" to our pussies and penises, knowing we are beasts, knowing we are damned, and denying we have elected such. I always wondered what it would be like to be in heaven, singing with the angels, sinless and pure. But infernal guilt traps me in a whirlpool of fire, and around me there are 1,000 mirrors, twisting my reflection like a funhouse sickness, fragmenting my clarity into confusion, and I scream insanely at my reflecting hideousness, weeping in unspeakable horror at my disgusting body, believing my anger and misery will best be freed from me by my own projection, as I become you, And you just don't live up to my expectations. And you keep lying to me. And you keep hurting me. And you keep making me angry. And you keep rejecting me. And you keep making me hurt you. And you keep criticizing me. And I hate you. I hate you. I hate you. And my reflection of you shatters at my attack as thousands of pieces of whirling blame explode and fly apart in my face. And its shining, deadly, spinning shards are sucked breathlessly back to me by my screaming, horrified body, and I'm swallowed up alive, ravaged in the cyclone of whirling glass, viciously, cut up and bloodied to pulp, unmercifully, trapped by my own treachery, tricked by my own lies. And I may hate being weak and sick and afraid and think my denial will conceal me. And I may hate being hated and think my anger will protect me. And I may hate being alive and think death my savior. But what I truly hate is being damned by the truth of knowing that only the self-accused condemn. Eaten alive to the idol and I nothing for the wicked Walsh clan. You are there and you are not. You are a holy mystery, never to be held, never to be seen, sought never to be found, fed never to be satisfied. We worship you, we worship you. We cannot touch you, we cannot see you, we cannot know you. Wish to rock? Do we not wish to roll? Do we not wish to rule? Don't we rule the world? Now isn't that special? Now isn't that special? Now isn't that special? We're ordinary people. Yes, we are. We make all the noise to prove it. We've got all the toys to prove it. We are movers, we are shakers, we're ingenious. We are movers, we are shakers, we're ingenious. We are Darwin's theory of evolution. We are special answers and solutions. We have a notion you're in need of a very special bargain. It's a secret, not a serpent. It won't bite you. It's a secret, not a serpent. It won't strike you. Take it, hide it, pet it, keep it. Take it, hide it, pet it, keep it quiet. It's a secret. Turn the light out. God of secrets corrects error. It takes white out! We will weep it white. We will keep it special. We will keep it white. We will kill to keep it special. Queen of ghosts to hear nothing to the idol. You see, the steps to get to heaven, they paint white. And then Jesus in the thorn crown, that paints white. Clouds are nice. They're white. So is DC, just the white parts. So is every U.S. president. You will know the 20th century poetry for its antiquated eloquence. So let's be honest now. We've come this far to see us unveil our evil little Christmas star, our evil little pride. Enjoy. Tell me, riddle me now, purge me, splurge me, wash me white. Sell me something good and plenty, hot and nasty, raunched and spicy. So what's a few casualties? Is this not war? No, isn't that special? No, isn't that? So what's a few dead niggers? So what? So what's a few dead better than us? Should we not use them for cheap labor? Should we not pet the nice monkeys and do them a favor? My ghetto-raised gorilla can outsport your trailer park chimp. Shall we not sell them lies, lines, and jive, exploit them, oppress them, cheat them from life, fuck them, kill them, mess with their minds, hate them, hurt them, eat them alive? Is this not better? That way, we win the game. We play with life right So what's a few dead faggots? So what? Their mothers never loved them anyway. It's not their mother's fault. Freaks happen. We have a special answer to that problem. Let them self-exterminate. And let's get rid of all those lazy, pregnant, underage Puerto Rican bitches, too. You know, they have to go, you know. No, you cannot bring one home. They breed. They breed like pests, you know, like roaches and flies I do despise. The more I know roaches, though, the more I like niggas and flies I do despise. The more I know niggas, though, the more I like faggots and flies I do despise. The more I know faggots, the more I like flies. Disgusting. Not acceptable. I pray you never date one. What would my friends think? We must not mix with that. We must not. We must not mix with that. We must never. They do not come from good homes. Their lifestyles are inappropriate. Now isn't that? Now isn't that? Now isn't? Since you insist on being stupid, let's explain it. We rule the world. We have all the toys. We come from good homes. We are privileged to have looks and wealth and advertising. Yes, that's it. We have advertising and you don't. So we are more important. So we are more special. So yeah. We are ordinary people. Everyday people. Normal people. Yes. And we live better lifestyles because we don't have filthy houses, roaches and rats, or crack dens in our neighborhoods, or drug dealers in our streets, or drive-by shootings here, or inappropriate behavior of any kind, because we are the milk-fed, chalk white, pasty, tasty, power station nation of numero uno jet set. Ready, get set. To the left, to the right, pose. To the left, to the right, pose. Smile for the special camera. Smile wide. Smile, precious special one. To the right, come on. Right, come on. A boogie and a woogie and come on. Get on down. Boogie and get on down with the program. Get on down. Fall with us, all fall down. Fall into the gap.
That will be American Express, please.
Down. No, miss, we don't accept diamonds. Oh no, conservative is just so you don't offend our cynical sensibilities, dear. And if you aren't part of our very special clique, then just play along with our rules, and you'll be then somewhat acceptable. Though you'll never be us. And when we're bored, we'll give you role models like Michael Jackson, or Prince, or the self-exterminating kind like Arthur Ashe. Graves make lovely shrines for a few lousy niggas, bitching they have no self-respect. That woman votes for the queers, the white ones, anyway. Hey, you gotta placate. Hey, the bills need paying. Hey, you out there watching this. Yeah, you. I bet you don't even know who I am. Certainly I'll tell you my evil little secret. But just don't you breathe a word of it. My name is Dr. Idol. I'll make sure you take my special medicines. The world will hate you if you do not obey. I want you to obey me. I want all your power. I want all your attention. Or I'll eat your peace away. My appetite for suffering. Bottomless. I am your soul doctor. Worship me when I hold this ticking watch, swinging back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. You are getting sleepy. Back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Close your mind. Retreat. Don't think. Let me be your eyes. Let me be your mind. Hush. You are under my power now. Sweet dreams. Sweet dreams, special one. I am your idol. You worship me, and the terms of this contract are A. You won't understand me. I am a mystery. B. I am your pride. You can love me, but I am under no obligation by contract to return this love. Pay over close attention to me. Reason here is irrelevant. I'm under every surrendered authority to be tyrannically demanding of you. Acceptance of my abuse is acceptable to me. Only this pleases me, nothing else. C. The glamour clause of this contract states that all emphasis on physical beauty is mandatory. Only certain parts need emphasis at all, apart from the whole. This contract expires with natural death. Please note, the trick of this clause is to deceive the undersigned into worthless possessions of good looks for glamour, which fades, eventually, with time. Nothing lasts forever. D. The more you give me, the more I demand you give me. The less you give me, the more I make you feel inadequate. The more you please me, the less I embarrass you. The less you please me, the more I terrorize you. Guilt is a motherfucker, baby, and so am I. I know all your dirty little secrets. E. As God of projections and shadows, I am entrusted with the keys to your worst nightmares. Unmasked, I am your superego, hidden in your body, though enemy to it. Unseen, I am your sense of littleness, insignificance, and brute force. Your sense of danger which attracts you, and your shitty sense of self and no self, your low self-esteem. Trust me, as all do. There is nothing that I wish more than to make nothing last forever. You will help me make nothing last forever, because I cherish the contribution of your individual death, which must come with time, which must come with age. Only this can seize the eternal hell I can make you for every waking moment. Ah, alas, so pathetic. Your tears do not move me. Anxiety is a bitch, ain't it? You don't even know why you worship me, do you? Didn't think so. Just sign here. This is my contract. Like it or lump it. You stupid idiot. I will reel you in like a slippery eel caught by my clever lines. I'm totally insane. My genius is for hire, for horror, is for murder. And I hide behind your face. I'm your belief in time and space and science, why I build your cities. You should respect that, right? I give you neat toys to play with and people less special than you for you to pick on.
It's your spirit home. There's babies less special than you, starving foods on your very plate. Just like it's your
Everybody can't be on top. Them's the rules. Only special people can do anything worthwhile. History proves that. Be nobody's rule. Make nothing last forever. Segregation now. Integration never. Separation now. Separation forever. Hip hip hooray. Hip hip hooray. Join today. Be a part of the special people. Don't be laughed at. The worst. Don't be ridiculed. Don't be picked on, and don't be left behind. The Joneses have always had devils in them, but that's my special secret. You might as well obey, obey, obey. I'll share with you my toys of power. Only just obey, and do not think about it. That is a direct order. And don't love unless it's special. Hurry, offer expires soon, while supply and the long supply and demand last. Pay no attention to that spirally high climbing inflation. Just get more credit cards. Master charge and fees accepted. Now is it
And for joining, you get this special edition of Sports Illustrated. This limited edition on blacks in sports, edited by the author of The Bell Curve, also contains a candid interview with former mayor of New York City, Rudolph Giuliani, whose opening editorial opinion does not necessarily express the views of this program. And for joining, you get this special edition of Sports Illustrated. This limited edition on blacks in sports, edited by the author of The Bell Curve, also contains a candid interview with former mayor of New York City, Rudolph Giuliani, whose opening editorial opinion does not necessarily express the views of this program. Homo Poetry for Trent Reznor. When Finnegan says he loves mankind, he really isn't kidding. He loves men, all kinds of men you wouldn't dream of. Tall men, broad men, short men, bored men, old men, young men, men who lie. Hot men, sad men, rock men, mad men, bad men, glad men, men who've died. Blonde men, road men, avoid them, deny them. Cold men, dark men, don't even try them. Dark meat, white meat, often eaten, both mistreat me. Often beat me, control me, use me, console me, love me, control me, abuse me, console me, love me, deny me, confuse me, control me, love me, abuse me, accuse me, deny you know me.
This is Poetry from the Dark Side, number 3, Wasted. From the vast, farting butt cheeks of the greed demon god comes his final expression of feeling to shining souls of the pure, unleashed and released in foul waves. Hot, rank spurts of liquefied feces splashes the dry, cracked, and filthy earth in cities too cold and sterile to be functional, healthy, or sane by design and frame, and never to recognize its true beauty is a seed, not a fruit, which can too easily putrefy. And then a vast tidal wave of dark, seething wastes envelop what has long ago rotted away, withered and gone foul and bad. Years ago, I came alive. Years ago, I arrived here alive. I arrived here to deep shit central, fearlessly, thermonuclear and seething, speaking brilliance into being, an articulate tenor, how delicious my vibrato can range, to alto and soprano, where I can begin gloriously, singing my song to the mentally thirsty. My muse feeds the hungry, heals the sick, and raises the dead. With inspiration there is always new life. And here I stand. Allow me, ladies and gentlemen, to inspire you. Blazing and ballistic, my speech rings a fire, a warhead of creation, not destruction, is what I send out to forever, flying down on wings which are dark with sorrow and pity, not evil. For I have shed tears of agony, being loved and hated by angels and demons who dance electric and bright in mind, screaming in my brain, swapping faces often, switching roles and trading places, all masking the true disciples of despair. They are all terrible actors and pathetic liars, again trading places, thinking damnation is orgasmic with love and fear. Love, fear, and anger cannot all define me, yet I am left drifting with their shipped stains of guilt and doubt, crumpled up like filthy, soiled underpants, ripped and worn, and thrown away, wasted, in the guilty, hidden secret that you have loved me, been nurtured beautifully by me, used me, and finding me for wanting, though it was you who could never get enough. It was you who did not know when to stop using. It was you who really found yourself, and not me, empty inside, when you repeated inanely, time after time, my stolen glory, and you ripped off my inspiration, so quietly hoping I would die. You esteem me worthless, only worthy of abandonment, for your carrion soul hath feasted filthily, and leaving me finally with a shared sense of your condemning mind and desperate views, your beliefs in hell, attack, madness and desolation, and isolation's chill, light years apart from you, I struggle for warmth, love, and light now, in the rank, apocalyptic stench of a truly shitty past, which has wrecked me and has left me weakened, warped, and wasted.
This is poetry from the buffet of sickness. Number 1. The Dark Prince of Washington Heights. For Chris Carter. The Dark Prince of Washington Heights is a man of very few words. He lives visibly in a world where envy, hatred, malice, and madness are all ceaselessly projected at him, and yet he is calm. The Dark Prince of Washington Heights rests serene and certain, for he is not at all concerned with projections. He wants facts, and sick little images teach nothing of value to him. The Dark Prince of Washington Heights wants nothing to do with lies, unless they're yours, and then he is fascinated by them. The Dark Prince of Washington Heights loves a good liar. To he, they are animals of the most dangerous game, and ever the demon hunter, he plays them along, sweetly deceiving that he is deceived in their gift-wrapped deceptions when they come to lay them down as lovely at his feet. He stands stern and sentinel between towers of power, taking it all in, taking in all the lies being broadcast morning, noon, and night. Morning, noon, and night. Morning, noon, and night. Because he wants you to know how much he cares. The Dark Prince of Washington Heights has a personal investment in your health, where he exists in the shadow of it, where your worst imaginings are but merely a delight to him. He loves your vain, sick, terrified imaginings, because he could use a good laugh. I am the Dark Prince of Washington Heights. Don't make me destroy you.
curiosity child. I am an empty now, searching and seeking to be satisfied. I am back at you, bandaged up, all in black now, waiting to be satisfied, waiting to be freed and untied, vicious with hunger and cruel without mercy. I will eat you up alive, my frightened, tender, succulent morsel. I love you best. Get the slave in the workshops about the unstable scales of my desire. I cannot get enough of what there is too much of. I cannot now consume you fast enough without pain in the past enough. I hunger for you now, feeding off nothing like a nauseous vampire. And within us, the belly of the beast knows no discomfort, residing in rotten, bloating gas. It farts out its waste, merrily, reeking, dying, yet sickly eager to whip it all up again, to steal it all back again, depositing them obediently into a barf, dropped dead into the insatiable feast of fear. For this, my love, is the buffet of sickness, this smorgasbord of the revolting and vile will always leave a beast hungry and hungering for more. Here, where fear cannot be satisfied by you, nor can I. This is poetry from the Fist of Fear. Number 4. Twisted for Adonis Physicus. Being real sick of dead and gone, I awoke in a frenzy of feeding, berserk with a fury, with broken robot parts raining down all around me in agony and rage. I opened up the last hole of my life to you, and there, festering in denial and hatred, was I, twisted and screaming and broken boned, but alive and miserable, with just the worst of me left from your gluttonous gorgings as my only comfort. This is poetry from the Feast of Fear. Number 3. Frantic for Johnny Pavlov. Shock blasted and hideous with the shrieking snakes of sick, twisted brothers who hide their dark deeds with a smile. Twisted and shock blasted brothers in desperation are breathless and running out of time. And they're gasping and loving the heat of the hot, hard friction they feel, making themselves frantic with love for each other. They hate to admit a secret they will kill you for. To hide, bury you in graves they've made for you in error. A terrible tragedy, but hey, life goes on. Who says you have to play life fair and sane? Madmen will do things their way. They will not make love. They will make war. They will not make love. They will make more shock blasted and hideous with the shocking snakes of secrets would slither away beside themselves, dispossessed and frantic. This is poetry from the Feast of Fear. Number 2. X for the man of my dreams. Close in time, with a bright shave into darkness, I and my face, which here is not beautiful, it smiles and love, nicks and scars. I, face of nothing, in time, with a close shave, nicks and scars, to grind down to nothing all that I am, in a face of tears. I am not very beautiful here. Here I am not picture perfect and lovely. There are no clean, bright mirrors. Here they are all dusty, not clearly. Clean mirrors needed to reflect the blade's drippings, my minglings now dripping with the blood of both my spent passion and rage. In time, with a neat neck scar you got while shaving your beautiful face of nothing. In time. This is poetry from the Feast of Fear. Number 1. Scared for Jonathan Walsh with love.
This is Robin Grant, your visual control supervisor. You have been watching poetry from the Feast of Fear series. This has been serial poetry presented by my friend Finnegan, with background drawings by Johnny Art. Stay tuned for more poetry.
This is poetry from the buffet of sickness. Number 2. Hysteria. Wild-haired and sleek-eyed, she's act, shrieking at the lights, shining on her unholy hold on him. Where and why, irrelevant to her, and seeking sustenance for herself. Time stands still, and she is bending to kiss and lick his neck. Her beauty a horror to him, her envious innocence stabbing at her heart. But heartlessly, she persists, still hungry, as for a tongue slashing out of her face. Freely, she bites down, and screaming, he struggles to pull away. Traumatized, blood spurting quietly, and running down his hands, neck, and chest, and splashing everywhere is sorrow. Much as it hurts, it does, making of his flesh a feast for herself, with her insatiable touch and the darkest fantasies which find his life blow. Why, no harlot has ever had the pleasure of sipping so sweetly and so heavenly, with its shining ecstasy of purity. And then greedy gulp fills, it spilling out her mouth in sweet slurps for a blissful moment. Yes, she smiles, a ghoulish madwoman, hell-bent on feeding of her own offspring, and taking sick pleasures. She fondles herself at thought of his rock-hard maleness, which she craves to feast upon.
Come to me, child.
Mother is lonely. She attempts, seductive, but politely declining her sick invitation to further hysteria. Her child escapes, fleeing the doom of mother's misspent youth, keeping his life more honest by running for it. And alone, he lives to tell the tale no one believes or cares to. For if he's a madwoman's child, regardless, surviving a cannibalistic and unholy lust for him, then it must follow also that he is mad, that he is no more sane than she, the legacy of madness, perpetuated by his horror of it, the legacy of madness passed down from generation to generation. He has refused, in favor of his own homegrown insanity, spinning round and all in a world of sick, shrieking hysteria.
This is more poetry from the dark side. Number 4. Worthless. You are living in the same world I do, speaking the same language, watching the same television, and reading the same books, papers, and magazines, going to the same movies, and riding the same planes, trains, and automobiles as I. And you have told me in many different ways, good, bad, ambivalent, indirect, and insanely, that you love me. And still, somehow, you have decided, in spite of glaring evidence to the contrary, you are different. I have repeated in many different ways, none ever harmful to you, good, bad, and insanely, that if you love me, it is because I am like you. So you must not really be different, and we must be creatures of the same light. But you have insisted stubbornly, by consistently avoiding the real issues, by seeking to lord over, dominate, and control, rather than relate and coexist in peace. By seeking to, with useless and destructive tantruming and petty complaints, and by taking from and using me and giving nothing of equal value from yourself in return, that we indeed are different, that you are not a creature of the light. And you have decided to demonstrate this ultimately to me through painful separation, with the final message that I am worthless.
This is more poetry from the Dark Side series. Number 3. Terror. Fear for your children, and teach them from the cradle that they are doomed to failure, and in this you support them. Fear for your children, and teach them they are worthless, by teaching them how fruitless and pointless are their dreams. Fear for your children, and overpopulate this planet with twisted little robots who fail your solemn vows for youth. Fear for your children, as you fear for yourself, and gather mobs of supporters who only amassed to protect you with madness, death, and lies. Fear and die alone anyway. Lonely, guilty, and miserably afraid, and weak, and go down bravely into that sweet good earth and night, where fear was born.
This is more poetry from the Dark Side series. Number 2, The Dark Side of the Force, for George Lucas. Not even in death will you find true peace from me, Dark Jedi and Force user of lost galactic worlds gone by. For you do not know the destructive power of excess, though you are clearly driven by it. But you can be subtly trained through guilt to learn how you are already my slave. If fear offers you anything sleek, seductive, and attractive you think you could use, be my guest and sit irresolute beside me with the dark side of the Force as your only tutor and ally. Join me, you arrogant, know-nothing dark Jedi slave, and we shall spread a spectacular message of fear and hatred and terror throughout the galaxy. But first you must be shown who's boss, and you must suffer necessarily, to your eternal shame and humiliation, the cruel and unusual punishments of my violent, critical rebukes and seething condemnations for your petty, insignificant
secret fears must be re-educated swiftly by me, acutely trained through terror, and I shall have to scoldingly beat you back from your own juvenile savagery with my ingenious display of brute force and soul-eating aggression, if only to demonstrate vividly, dearest Dark Jedi, how to use and inflict mindless brutality with respect and flair. For we will not waste a drop of sweetness on the likes of our growing enemies, who are sane and kind to their opponents and are, as such, oddly strangers from ourselves. We shall amass our legions of darkness and destruction, with much coveted options and complete security to attack in perfect safety those who judge subversive and vastly different from ourselves, with a justifiable hostility and hatred toward them should they have the audacity to disagree or oppose or obstruct us in any way, which shall make their defeat to us that much more sweet, as we transform them hideously into our willing slaves, who will serve as you will serve, in total, beaten quiet obedience to the petty and cruel dictates of my legendary vanity, our driving force. For we shall make a show of power and strength you will probably not believe, but only years later, after I have deceived you with intoxicating promise, glitter, and guile, into agreeing with wholeheartedly and accepting a worthless pack of lies. Yes, years later, after you have had plenty of time to hate and to resent and bitterly regret your irreversible decision to employ your arrogance through me, time and a half with the forces of darkness. Here, in the ass end of deep space, aboard our numerous galactic fleets, of world-raping marauders, amid scathing nests of corruption, deliciously vile scandal, and inescapably hellish accusation we dish out daily, we are destined in our own insulated and uptight way to be one big happy family of merry cutthroats not even trustworthy enough to slash a cheap lightsaber through, yet at a moment's notice, willing to shed a galaxy of blood, just for the thrilling promise of the power I can grant them beyond their wildest dreams. Attend seriously the lessons I have to teach you, for the clumsy and the stupid do not fare well with me, rewarding failures my eager specialty, punishable by death. The terrible truth is, no one ever understands why or how I teach the hard lessons that I do. No one has ever seen me, or will know me, as well as you, slave. I am necessary rumor, and the shadowy stuff of myth, and that is why I am still a complete enigma to you, my Dark Jedi puppet. You who shall never see or suspect the stark raving insanity I conceal well behind my genius for getting others involved. And with a totally lunatic network of egomaniacal, star-destroying, murderous servants enforcing my will throughout the galaxy, we shall forge and prune order from the madness and chaos we have created. And from 1,000 death-blasted star systems of blood-gushing garrisons, we shall grow strong and emerge raw and new and clean. With ruthless drive, I have already made you one with my hate by teaching you a twisted, self-accusing philosophy you'll never suspect while loving it means your penultimate death. We will take the precious, everlasting light, a universal symbol of hope and freedom, and pervert it to the dark side of the Force, creating lethal lasers, killing light rays, and other such burning instruments of cruelty, torture, and terror, transforming light into a universal symbol of fear. Isn't that clear? clever. Give in to your anger now. Only your greater hatred can destroy and complete your final lessons with me. The shabby lies I must preach to you, which require self-projected waste and unbelievable vanity, only obvious and evident years later, you'll never suspect or begin to comprehend, because before you can blink or think twice, time has come now to pay me, which you are the dark side of the Force, with blood, shit, and death. Now congratulations, you've done it. You are now officially a celebrated member of the Dark Jedi Elite. Were you expecting any less? Didn't think so. Pay your dues promptly, Jedi slave, at ever-escalating cost and expense, by making a bad show of your personal life, forever being mine to kick about as I please, then profoundly robbing yourself of any real self-respect, feeling insects small at the slightest show of genuine intelligence anyone else displays around you, around me, and feel dramatically threatened when anyone asks you honestly how you are doing around me. And I'll know for certain then, Jedi slave, you are a student firmly on the path to the dark side of the Force. And before you can attain mastery, only when I'm finished using you, I'll discard and abandon you in the devastating heart of your own self-destruction, where I can only just begin to show you, through the dark side of the Force, your pleasures in miserable excess.
This is more poetry from the Dark Side series. Number 1. Slaves in darkness will yet be free. For Annie Lennox. Dimly aware in the dark, the 6 servants of pain were sent a new message, which was inconceivable to them, for they had lived long in suffering and doom and agony, and were only used to perceiving things this one way. And it would be this perception of weakness which they would use against the terribly intrusive onslaught of reality, to allow themselves the luxury of being weak, sick, and afraid. For this was all they seemed to know in the dark, and it was here they sought safety and protection from the light, with every trick they knew in the book. The message was so simple and direct, it took the twisted servants forever to learn the message was perfectly harmless to them, though they were certain it bore them treachery regardless. The new message declared light in all, for all to be released as one from all the workings of pain forever. The new message simply declared light. But the sick little slaves were so attached to their chains of misery, it was beyond their capacity to conceive of freedom from their demon lord and master, the Crown Prince Pain, and they were convinced the message was a mistake at first. But they were bored and curious, and so they continued to study the message, radiant content, uncensored. The perceived purpose of their sicknesses revealed to them was indeed painful and tragic for the servants to truthfully behold, unable with their newfound intense self-awareness and honesty to dismiss lightly what was revealed to them and they reacted violently and hatefully, as if they were being persecuted and attacked, when shown their own unconcealed ugliness and vicious ignorance unwrapped from their emptied and attractive gift boxes of nothing and exposed for the repulsive sicknesses that they were. With fantasy seen and exposed as the source of sickness, liar and thief, to all sanity and reason, the slaves of darkness awoke an instant to the radiant power within themselves, a truly liberating intelligence, which revealed to the servants of pain and darkness the startling, shocking truth that they were actually pure mirrors of creation, not limited by time or space, channels originally designed as vessels of eternal joy. Unable to tolerate or accept the natural shining joy within themselves, the slaves of pain, masters of denial, simply deluded themselves with twisted rationalizing that they really hated to love and that they really loved to hate, misreading the message entirely. For joy is not the message the miserable think they want. And so the message keeps going out, calling out the universal need and cause for joy, and making this plain. For slaves in darkness, you know well, and you can help relieve them of their suffering, as they are unaware that they are their own jailers in a prison of time which is itself unreal. You can enlighten them that ignorance and agony is not the purpose of their existence, for freedom and better is within them, where inevitably all slaves in darkness, by their own forgiving hands, will yet be freed.
This is Poetry of Power, Series number 1, Secret Agent of Radiance. In the holy crystal city of power, near the gates of heaven, all heaven and earth came together an instant to witness the birth, unspectacular, of the dark poet child on a celebrated pagan holiday in 1969. They would abandon him there to his wits, by fate, by his own request, a secret agent of radiance in the dark world of time. To teach himself and the world, with miracles of creation, the lessons of love and light. Lessons which most choose to deny and fail, but lessons which love and the Lord of the light patiently expect you and me and the sum of all creation to accept as true and not an illusion. This is Poetry of Power, Series number 2, Lord of the Light. In the devastating scarlet, crystal purple silence did I happen, while zone tripping on the outer rim of desire, upon the Lord of the Light, at one there with all creation. Crystals of clarity whirling musically alive leapt off him, and unspeakably beautiful visions scattered into the void beyond him. And I fell upon my knees in an instant when I saw him and wept. His glory and his beauty and his power and his radiance was endless. Recognizing he is in everyone alive and me. And so my will I give gladly, to the Lord of the Light. So he sends me to you for you to love and teach and learn from until such time is no longer necessary as this parting gift from a gentle eternity where the light shines from all. This is Poetry of Power, series number 3. There's no escape from heaven, for Tony Halliday. In the endless radiance of perfection, from the light of all eternity, the strange fruit of genius sends its greetings to the prisoners and slaves of the dark world of time, who do not even understand, as it is happening to them, that they are to become motivated and inspired by the beautiful works of creation, which shall in return remind you, when time and all its workings are over and done with, that you have a responsibility as a living being of radiant origin to return your mind from insanity, painful exile, and the demented wish to be sick and besieged with illusions, and transmute this all into beautiful stars of transformation as a constellation of eternal knowledge, which will accept you when you accept you into its perfect and certain endless love.
This is final entrees of poetry from the buffet of sickness. Number 1, Nothing, for Sharon Stone. We believe in the saving power of Jesus. We believe nothing. We believe love can save us from ourselves. We believe nothing. We believe it's time. We believe in time. We believe it's time. We took better. We believe this time we can take better. We believe in taking and lost through it. We believe nothing. We believe we are flesh and bone, honest to goodness, hard-working Americans who deserve a chance of prosperity, all expense paid. We believe we can have all of this for nothing. We believe we can steal this. We believe we should take this all on for nothing. We believe we should be long-suffering, accepting all pain for nothing. We believe we are in hell, and that our punishment, suffering, and sacrifices are not nothing. But somehow, this leaves us feeling.